No. Actually, I have one here somewhere from something else, but I can't find it, but it's probably twice the size of the one you have. I don't know what I did with it.
Okay, we are live streaming on YouTube. All right, we got everyone there. Look at this group. Okay, well, we're ready here to go when you are ready, Gretchen, to start.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. The meeting will come to order. The time is now 5:34. This is a meeting of the District of Columbia Commission on the Arts and Humanities. This is a regular monthly meeting. My name is Gretchen Wharton. I'm Vice Chair of the Commission. I will now call the roll. When you hear your name, please answer present. Carla Sims. Cecily Herbamana.
Present.
Cora Masters-Berry. Demetrius Butler.
Present.
Hector Torres.
Present.
Janice Kim.
Present.
Jillian Branzo.
Present.
Kimberman Keady.
Present.
Maggie O'Neill.
Present.
Thought I saw you there. David Stedman. Okay, we have our quorum present and we will proceed with our meeting. This is a meeting of a public body held in open session and is governed by the Open Meetings Act. Please address any questions or complaints arising under the meeting to the Office of Open Government at the OpenGov office at dc.gov. Notice of the meeting was posted in the DC Register on the Commission's website, dcarts.dc.gov, and on the DC Office of Open Government's Central Meetings calendar at open-dc.gov. The meeting is being conducted in a hybrid format with commissioners joining both in person and remotely using the Zoom meeting platform. It is being live streamed to the Commission's YouTube channel. An electronic recording of the meeting will be available for viewing online following the conclusion of the meeting. Are there any objections to the agenda and minutes that were previously circulated from our May 18th, 2026 regular meeting? Hearing no objections, the agenda for this meeting and the minutes from the previous meeting stand as adopted. The land acknowledgement. I will now read the land acknowledgement. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will. Some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life. And some have lived on this land for more generations than can be counted. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to the building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We begin this effort to acknowledge what was been buried by honoring the truth. We stand on the ancestral lands of the Nacotchtank and the Piscataway people. We pay respect to their elders, past and present. Please take a moment to consider the legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public events and to use such truths to guide the legacy of the Arts Commission. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We have a robust agenda. I think it's robust. Well, it's a little bit lengthy anyhow, but thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to see, first of all, if we have a grantee highlight. Do we have one with Veronica Faison?
We do, and I'm promoting them to panelists right now.
Perfect.
Hello, do I just dive in?
Hey, Veronica, thank you for joining us. Yes, dive in.
Awesome, awesome. Well, hi everybody. My name is Veronica Faison. I'm really excited to get to be here and talk about how this amazing grant has impacted me. I am a singer-songwriter based in DC, of course. I've been performing pretty consistently for the last 3 to 4 years, both as a soloist with me and the keys, and with a band supporting a lot of local community endeavors that I really care about, from DC Abortion Fund to other like liberation-minded causes. But through this grant, excitingly, has been the first time I've really been able to record my music and like really take it from the place it is in my head from writing to something that is incredibly full and beautiful. So I released my first fully produced single just a few weeks ago with the help of this grant and working with a really special producer. It's a song called Illiterate, which is like a cheeky little song about not purposely not being able to read the warning signs of a bad partner, a bad situation. It's been something that while writing it obviously was a little less positive 6 years ago, to go from my bedroom and my notebook to a real song in the world that people have really been enjoying listening to is really meaningful to me. I'll see if I can share my screen, but if not, that's okay. But yeah, and this is the timing of sharing about this is really divine, because on Friday, on Juneteenth, I'll be having a release show at the Pocket that'll be celebrating the single by highlighting obviously myself and two other Black queer musicians that I've really enjoyed working with, and collaborating with a local literary collective to sort of drive home the cheeky nature of the song. So yeah, this has meant the world to me and has made me feel, I don't know, more like legitimate. Like I've been doing this for a long time, but this feels like the first time where I felt true, like public investment in my art. And I am really looking forward to having that multiply. So yeah, that's a little about me, but
Where's the song available, or how is it available?
yeah, so it is available on all streaming whatnot. Let me see if I can
Yeah,
And the
you can
share.
name
share
of
it. There
it,
you
and
go.
the name. There we
Yeah.
go. All
So
right.
this is like I have like two little demos here, but this is the first like truly composed and complete tune. So it's on all the streaming things. My artist name is Veronique, which is the name my mom originally wanted to name me, and so I thought it would be really sweet to honor it in that way as my artist. But yeah, I was able to do a photo shoot for the release as well, if you can see this, which also felt really, really special, to also be able to work with other artists that are, aligned as well. So yeah. Obviously, if you have any questions, let me know. And if you're randomly free on Juneteenth at 7:30, that is when I have my show, which I'll just show you. Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, and that's all from me. But yeah, really appreciate the time to jump in here and share a little bit about my work and how exciting it's been now that I
Well,
have the actual coins to fund it.
thank you so much. This is really exciting. And that's why I asked you, where can we find it? Where can we see it? But to know that our grant helped you bring your dream to fruition is a good feeling. It's a great feeling. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Okay, I think next coming up, we have our grantee highlight. No, we have our public comment session.
I do not see the
Kimberly Little.
hasn't joined the meeting.
Oh,
Oh wait,
okay.
hold on.
Yes.
Oh no.
Is she there?
No.
No. Okay, well, let us know if she joins us. Okay, now we have our Executive Director, Aaron Myers, to present his report, the director's report.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aaron Myers. I'm Executive Director, African-American man with a tan coat on and a blue shirt. We're going to start with agency updates. Since our last meeting, CAH has continued strengthening its partnerships across district government and the broader creative ecosystem. I would like to take a moment to celebrate the opening of Rip Tear Collage as Critique, which debuted on June 11th in our I Street Gallery. The exhibition opening drew hundreds of attendees and created an atmosphere of vibrant engagement, conversation, and artistic exchange. The energy throughout the evening was electric and reflected both the strength of the exhibition and the growing momentum surrounding contemporary visual arts in the district. While our public art team may provide additional details later in the meeting, I want to acknowledge and thank the entire CAH team whose work made the exhibition and opening reception such a success. Events of this scale require collaboration across multiple departments, and the result was a memorable experience for artists, patrons, and community members alike. I would also like to thank Commissioner Brenza for joining us that evening and supporting the exhibition. We are pleased to welcome our new Senior Grants Manager, Officer, to be Nikita Chambers, to the agency. She is joining us virtually this evening, and I would like to offer her the opportunity to briefly introduce herself to the commission and the broader arts community. Are you there?
Yep, she is.
Yes, I am here. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nikita Chambers. Just a little brief background. I have 34 years of grants management to be a part of CAH's team.
Wonderful. So we have a storied senior grants officer with us, and that the team is already excited to be learning from. And I would say in her interview, the thing that stuck out to me the greatest is that she described herself as a nurturer and someone who really wanted to create a pathway for her team to succeed. And that's something that I know is a value set that we all share here, both as commissioners and then also as the staff. So welcome to the team. We're glad to have you here, Ms. Chambers. Additionally, we're preparing to begin our second round interviews for our general counsel position. I'm grateful to our interagency partners who have supported us throughout the recruitment process and helped identify a strong pool of finalists, just so the commissioners can know. So far, who helped us on the panel has been OCP, the Office of Risk Management, the MOLC, the Mayor's Office of Legal Counsel, as well as there's one other agency that has helped us, and it goes out of my mind because I'm getting older. But I want you to know that we've had a great deal of support, and all of the stakeholders that we interact with have helped us choose final finalists for this particular position. Once a final candidate has been selected, we will provide an update to the commissioners. We have several exciting events and partnerships ahead, including 2 key partnerships with some of the cultural agencies in the Executive Office of the Mayor. This week, we are partnering with the Mayor's Office of LGBTQ Affairs for their annual District of Pride Showcase, taking place at the Lincoln Theater on Wednesday, June 17th, 7 p.m. This will be the 7th annual talent showcase and the 20th anniversary of the Mayor's Office of LGBTQ Affairs. On Friday, June 26th, we'll be supporting the Mayor's Office of Caribbean Community Affairs at their 4th annual cultural concert taking place at Sycamore and Oak from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. This year is the 20th anniversary of the Caribbean Heritage Month, and it will be an evening of music, dance, and art that celebrates the Caribbean diaspora. CAH is also working with Hometown DC, a special initiative developed together with Humanities DC, the DC History Center, and the DC Public Library. Hometown DC is a community-driven public history and art project that highlights the voices of district residents through oral history, interviews, outdoor installments at library locations across all 8 wards, and free public events. Featured alongside the oral histories will be made images from the Art Bank collection and photography by local artist Farah Skyke, I believe, all designed by local artist Adrian Gaither. The project offers a portrait of life in DC as the United States marked its 250th anniversary, with an opening event scheduled for Wednesday, June 17th at the DC History Center. The DC Music Summit is partnering with CAH on You Gotta Leave DC to Get Love, a panel and community discussion on rethinking infrastructure for Black music in the nation's capital. This will take place in our community room tomorrow evening from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. I would invite people to look at the Eventbrite and the description for this event. We're not promoting people to leave DC in order to get love, as was what we're telling people is that you don't have to leave DC in order to get love. And there are ways that we can help strengthen the infrastructure within our creative ecosystem. So look at the video we just shared with the mayor responding to that today. The Son del Amor Georgetown Block Party, and that's my Texan take on French, taking place on Saturday, June 20th, 2026 from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. in Georgetown, DC, organized by music artist IDK in collaboration with the French Embassy in the U.S., Villa Albertine, and the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities. This event brings together a heavy-hitting roster of local independent hip-hop and rap artists alongside community staples. It will celebrate music, culture, and community connection on an international cultural stage with an expected attendance of over 10,000 people. And just so you all know, BET just covered this for us and shouting out the commission on this particular partnership. CAH will also be hosting a creative community meet and greet on Thursday, June 25th from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. This will be an opportunity for the public to learn more about the agency, connect, and meet with some of our grants team. We encourage everyone to stay connected and help share these opportunities across your network. So we're busy, everybody. We have a lot going on here. Grants. Our summer grants opened on June 5th. The Arts and Humanities Fellowship Program, AHFP, grant closes on Tuesday, July 7th, and the Small Cap Projects grant closes Thursday, July 9th. Interested applicants can apply on our website. And presently, for any of the workshops, please take advantage of these workshops. I know Commissioner Wharton has been an advocate for us to be able to do these workshops. This is helpful. Please take advantage of those workshops. Third, our strategic plan. Last week, we concluded stakeholder listening sessions with CAH grantees, the general public, and our agency partners throughout the Interagency Creative Coalition. We are grateful to all who shared their experiences, insights, and priorities regarding the Commission's future work. Our strategic planning partner, Opportunity Consulting, will now integrate feedback from both the visioning session and stakeholder listening sessions into the first draft of the strategic plan. This draft will be presented to the Governance Committee on July 9th and then shared with the full Commission later that month. The next phase in July will provide opportunities for written, in-person, and virtual public comment from July 21st through July 31st. Details, including registration links and materials, will be shared on the CAH website, Eventbrite page, and the strategic planning webpage. I encourage commissioners to help share information about the July public comment period with your network and communities. Communication materials will be provided soon to support your outreach efforts. Now we're going to wrap up on the budget, which is what everybody's been worried about and wondering about. On June 9th, the council completed its first vote on the draft FY27 budget released by the Committee of the Whole. This legislation reverses the significant cuts, included in the mayor's draft budget, and funds for CAH programs at sustainable levels for the coming fiscal year. At the hearing, council members praised Chairman Mendelson's work and the restoration of funding for CAH. The Local Budget Act is scheduled for second reading and final vote on June 23rd, with the Budget Support Act scheduled for consideration on July 14th. So while amendments remain possible before the final passage, we're cautiously optimistic as the legislation continues to move forward. We extend our sincere thanks to the commissioners, staff, and especially for the Greater Washington Arts and Humanities community for their tireless advocacy. It is this ongoing work that ensures DC remains a place where the arts can grow and thrive. I would like to encourage our grantees to include outreach to members of both the administration and the council throughout the year, sharing with them the good work that you do. This makes it easier for those who both write policy and appropriate to understand the importance and vitality of the arts ecosystem here in DC. CAH will continue its advocacy efforts in the coming weeks and will provide further budget updates as they become available. Thank you all for your continued partnership. and support of arts and culture in the district. And I hope the report won't have to be this long in the future, but I appreciate all of your hard work.
Thank you so much. I see something on the chat that says I can't speak on this platform. That's not our person we were trying to bring in, is it?
No, that was, I just advanced Cora.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, well, the next thing is the grants report, and guess what? Reggie Van Lee's not here, that's why I was chair. So now he's still not here, so I'm now going to take off the Reggie Van Lee hat and put on the Gretchen Wharton hat as chair of the grants committee. So here's our grants committee report. As Aaron had said before, thank you so much to Nikita Chambers, our new grants officer. You will be hearing a lot about her and from her over the next several months especially. And we're delighted to welcome her here. For our FY26 grant cycle, over 99% of purchase orders for the current year have been issued. Yay. Grant managers are working with the remaining handful of grantees to finalize paperwork for the creation of purchase orders. Interim reports for organizational grantees were due on May 4th. Grant managers continue to review so second payments can be approved and the year can be closed out finally. The transition to the new grants management system, along with the nascent feedback from early strategic plan engagement, has encouraged us to assess some other elements of our grant-making programs and processes with the goals of being more efficient and to secure better data to help us tell the agencies and to tell our grantees stories. Large capital project. Grant awards, those grant awards were approved in the amount of $3.45 million by the Commission in March and have been on hold as the agency has been asked to identify $2.6 million in savings for the current year due to underperforming dedicated tax revenue. We are still in a holding pattern until the final budget is approved, but we're cautiously optimistic, as Aaron alluded, that the $2.6 million will be restored to our budget and we can then issue the large capital project grants. The FY27 grant cycle, general operating support. The agency received over 240 applications to the FY27 cycle of GOS, which closed on May 5th. Grant managers are in the process of securing and orienting panelists, with panels themselves starting the next couple of weeks. East Arts and projects, events, and festivals, individual and organizations. We refer to these as PEF-O and PEF-I. All three of these organizational grant programs closed on May 22nd. East Arts and PEF for organizations closed with similar numbers to last year, whereas PEF-I started a significant enough decrease in the number of applicants from FY26 to 27, 185 to 151. The Arts and Humanities Fellowship Program and Capital Projects launched on June 5th. AHFP currently has 147 drafting applications and is scheduled to close on July 7th. The Capital Projects Grant currently has 17 drafting applications and is scheduled to close on July 9th. Additional grant program announcements. The following programs are scheduled for launch later this week: Arts and Humanities Education Project Grant and the Field Trip Experiences Grant. All grant programs will have multiple workshops and live chat opportunities available during the open application window. Please, please, please take advantage of this, everybody, so that you can talk to the grant manager who's in charge of this particular grant and field your questions and get the answers so that your applications can be right. We strongly encourage everybody, new and returning applicants, to attend these. A special thank you also to David Markey, who, as usual, has been holding down the fort since we've kind of been in the middle of our grants manager since Terrell left and since Nikita's coming on. So thank you, David. Okay. I think we're ready for the finance report, Janice.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Janice Kim. I'm an East Asian woman wearing a blue shirt today, and my hair is pulled up and the color is dark brown. The Finance Committee held its monthly meeting last Friday, the 13th of June, and to present the report will be Brandon Saunders from Resource Allocation. Thank you, Brendan.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Janice. Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon Saunders. I'm an African American male, wearing a black and white shirt here. And yes, I'm happy to present this month's Finance Committee report. Let's get right into it. Let's go to the next slide. Just some overarching numbers overall. As usual, we start with our normal breakdown between the admin side of the agency and the grant side of the agency. As we can see, the admin side highlighted in like a light blue color. In the grants, of course, are green. Normally, the breakdown is somewhere between 82% of the agency's total budget goes to grants. The remaining goes to admin, plus or minus point percentages, depending on reprogramming and some technical stuff, of course. But to kind of go over what the difference or essentially the transactions that occurred from last month to this month. The agency's available budget mostly occurring around the personnel services, but also a lot happening in admin as we're getting into that season of programming as well. The agency's budget went from 9.2 million last month to 8.38 million, which is about $870,000 in spent money. One thing to kind of keep in mind with government money, we're trying to execute. We're trying to spend all of it down rather than saving. Granted, you have mechanisms at our agency, such as the fund balance, that operates as a savings account in which the available balance does go in. Of course, there's policies around access, but we do have opportunities to keep it and reutilize it, which is different than most agencies. However, for the most part, we are ideally supposed to spend the money because our funds reset October 1. So just a little bit of background in terms of the big breakdown at the most macro level of our agency. Overall, before we move to the next slide, the available percentage dropped from 20.2% to 18.3%. So just about 2%. Thanks, Chris. Moving to the next part, unless we can actually just move to the next slide. The reason I asked Chris to move to the next slide, you can review the previous slide at your perusal, but this slide is actually more of a granular, more detailed breakdown of the agency's budget on the admin side. There's the difference being an additional account column. That's the third column from your left there. That has a more of, I guess, just use the word, I guess, again, granular breakdown of all the specific categories that roll up to their parent categories, as you can see from the left. Which is the more of the larger breakdown that was on the previous side. So there's contractual services, but as y'all can see, for the most part, other services and charges is where we have the most breakdown in categories, which is very fair. It's the most diverse that hits a lot of different departments and shows our true programming overall. The rest are more operational in nature. And yes, I think that always happy to, and this is for everyone who's a stakeholder in this meeting and watching, always happy to answer any questions specifically about line items. The agency does have a more detailed spend plan that we maintain in the more operational day-to-day. We can move to the next slide. Looks like we're also about 50.25%, which I expect that to change with some, as I would call, chunk transactions in Q3 and Q4, along with personnel, of course. And then finally, this is the grants slide. I think that it kind of provides a little bit more of the financial breakdown to our previous report. Just shows that we're doing really well with procuring overall. Money's moving out the door in a pretty efficient manner. I think that we have some outliers, of course, that Director Meyer spoke to in his director's report. Also there was in the grants report around the large capital grants program, of course. Nevertheless, as the resource operations manager, we present all of the programs at once in that way. So when that does procure, we will have a much drastic drop and be close to zero. But yes, that's some of the context. We are trending very well. And that's the kind of the end of your report. Happy to answer any more questions. I think that a lot of the more macro-based questions that affect agency policy and the close of FY26 and beginning of FY27. Director Myers kind of addressed in the report. My aim is, especially in this section, is to highlight more of the, more detailed breakdown and day-to-day of the agency. And thanks, everyone. Happy to answer any questions too.
Might help if I pushed on audio. Thank you, Brandon. Okay. If there are no questions, are there an Arts Education Committee report?
Yes, there is.
Wonderful. Hey, Hector.
How are you? Good evening. Everyone, my name is Hector Torres, and I am a Latino gentleman with white hair and a blue and green check shirt. I'm very happy to report on the Education Committee. The Arts Education Committee met on Tuesday, June 9th. In attendance were myself, Chairman Lee, and Andrea Brown and Mauricio Pita, who are members of the staff. The key elements of the meeting were going over the summer internship program as an update. 200 plus applications were received for arts education, communications, culture, community grants, public art, and the resource department. Interns will support major departmental projects, initiatives, and operational responsibilities throughout their tenure. Departments are at varying degrees of the interview and onboarding process. Thank you all for those who applied. This is a much larger application pool than we've had in the past. So the program is reaching out to quite a few people. Also, the arts education leads the way from a vantage point that Washington, D.C. has been selected as the host site for the National Assembly of State Arts Agency Professional Development Institute. The conference will take place October 5th to the 7th. And the Commission's Arts Education Department, along with the Arts Education Working Group, have laid the groundwork for this half-week conference. The PDI is designed to equip arts education managers who serve in diverse roles across state government in their respective states with the tools, knowledge, and networks needed to lead effective arts education programs. Participants come from all 56 states and jurisdictions, representing a wide range of professional backgrounds. This is a wonderful opportunity for us to do a little showing off. And I think our team, I have to take my hat off to Mauricio and to Andrea for being great hosts and showing in their selection process. In fact, they're using venues in the District of Columbia that we obviously support, which is really good to know. For questions concerning the arts education programs, please feel free to contact the Arts Learning Coordinator, Andrea Brown, and or the Arts Learning Specialist, Mauricio Pita, at mauricio.pita@dc.gov. Thank you. That's some of my report.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Hector.
Well,
Okay. Next, we have the governance report.
Good evening. My name is Julianne. I am a white woman. I have brown hair, even though it does look blonde today. I'm Italian, Irish, and as I've said before, I'm newly Spanish, and I'm learning about that. And I'm wearing a flowered scarf and a green shirt. Okay, the governance committee met on Thursday, June 11th at 10 a.m. And those that were in attendance were committee members Dave Stedman, our chairperson, Reggie Van Lee, David St. John, who's our staff person, who is the attorney advisor, and absent were Maggie O'Neill and Gretchen Wharton, our vice chair. The committee met to discuss the following matters: the timing of the annual review of the executive director. As instituted last year, all commissioners will be sent an anonymous survey. All survey results are compiled and shared with the chairperson as they prep and execute the annual performance review. All commissioners are expected and like you kind of should participate and should keep an eye out for that survey Friday, September 4th. The summer will be over. You can do it. All right, next item. The governance committee recommends the approval of the proposed amendment to Article 2, Section 1. This amendment is a non-substantive change intended to align the bylaws with existing district law and clarify the current governance structure regarding personnel authority. What you see in front of you is language that is highlighted yellow. That means it's the language that we currently have in our bylaws. And the language that is highlighted blue, that is the new language that we're going to vote on today. So I'm just going to read this really quickly. The old language reads, the personnel authority of the executive director and for any other employee of the Commission on the Arts and Humanities shall be the executive director of the Commission on the Art and Humanities. What has been edited and that we're going to vote on today is that the Commission, the Arts and Humanities, shall serve as the personnel authority for the executive director with supervision and administrative direction exercised by the chairperson pursuant with Article IV, Section 2, Item 7. The executive director shall serve as the personnel authority for all other employees of the Commission on the Arts and Humanities, except as otherwise provided by law. All right, we've reached the moment. I am requesting that the chairperson place this amendment forward for a vote.
Gretchen, do you want to
we'll-
continue or should I intervene?
I
since
didn't
I'm
know
here
you
now?
were there. Hello, Reggie Van Lee. Go right ahead.
Good. So you've heard the proposed revision to the bylaws. We'll now go through the vote. If you're in favor A, oppose no, or abstain. Commissioner Sims? Commissioner Habamana?
Hey,
Commissioners Masters Baring?
yes.
Commissioner Butler?
Yes.
Commissioner Wharton?
Yes.
Commissioner Torres?
Yes,
Commissioner Kim?
Yes.
Commissioner Brienza?
Yes.
Commissioner Mankiti? Commissioner O'Neill?
Yes.
Commissioner Stedman? It passes.
Do
Thank you.
it.
Thank you.
All right, the next governance committee meeting is Thursday, July 9th, and it goes from 10:30 to 11:30. It's a longer meeting because we're looking at the first draft of the strategic plan.
Another revision I would make is that I was at your last meeting.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You were. I'm so sorry that I didn't put that on there. And I mean that I really liked you being there too. I'm so sorry. Yes.
Thank you for the revision and correction of
Yes.
this.
So sorry.
Anything else on governance? Any other questions, comments? Again, thank you, Gretchen, for standing in for me. I appreciate it. Community Advisory Committee report. Cecily. Cecily's not here. She's here. Cecily, yes.
I just want to make sure that Grace is here. I didn't see her.
Grace-
There's
Grace-
Cecily. I was coming off of you. I know.
Oh, perfect.
Commissioner
So,
Habimana is busy.
yes,
So
as,
yes.
as you all can hear, there's a little one in the background. So I'm going to just go ahead and pass it over
Yes.
to Grace, and thank you so much.
Absolutely, of course, happy to do so. Hi, everyone. I'm Grace Allen. I am Special Advisor with the Commission on Arts and Humanities. I'm an African American woman with a black shirt, black hair, and a black headband. So happy to be here. And so we'll go over the committee notes for this report. So our committee met to discuss summer events and initiatives, and we're planning to meet again over the coming weeks. As we've mentioned, I think in previous meetings, we've changed some of our meeting schedule, especially over the summer. We have lots of busy commissioners, as you can hear, and busy families. So we wanted to make sure we're accommodating their schedules. And so we'll continue to map out our meetings as well as our partnerships leading up to the end of the fiscal year, and then also continuing on to the end of the calendar year. I do want to give a special shout out to our chairperson, Mr. Reggie Van Lee, as well as our commissioners, Javi Mata, Masters Berry, and Butler, for their continued support. So when it comes to our culture and community trainings, we have successfully completed our applicant trainings. For those who weren't able to attend, please reference our supportive material on the website, our updated guide to grants, our resource that highlights or helps you to highlight culture and community in your grants. As you heard from other committees, we have a number of grants that are still open, that are newly open, that continue to remain open. And so we want to make sure you have the resources to support those grants. We also wanted to make sure that staff was ready, willing, and able to support you in that work as well. So we underwent a number of cultural trainings with our staff, as well as communication trainings. So they're ready to help you navigate this new platform and new language. And as we heard from our arts education and arts and learning committee, we do have new interns coming, and we're really excited because this is the first year we're going to have an intern for the work that we do with culture and community, which is really exciting. We've gone through the internship process, we've interviewed, and we're working on onboarding and continuing the work with our intern. So excited. Also, things to look forward to. We have been building culture and community internally and externally. We are going to continue to do so. You'll see us more in community than ever before with pop-up events, surveys. Thank you to those who already filled out some of our demo survey. We really are appreciating your contribution in helping us better understand the larger arts and humanities community that we have that supports the commission. We're going to continue that. And for those who were here last summer, we're back again with our Summer Go-Go series. It's our second year, and we hope to continue this for many years to come. Aside from the series, we're also going to continue to do some community-centered experiences extending through the end of the fiscal year and continuing to the end of the year. Even as the seasons change, we still have the community in mind. So we'll see you and we'll gather with you there. We're committed more than ever to remaining data-driven, and that is what our intern will help us do. So we're really excited about having that intern come in, help us to gather that qualitative and quantitative data so that we can continue to update and provide reports on the communities that we serve. And then we want to ensure, with all the changes that's happening with our youth here in DC, that we have some back-to-school initiatives to help them re-enter the spaces and re-enter transitions from summer to back to school in a safe way, but also a creative way. So there'll be more to come on that. I want to shout out our communications team and our events team. You'll see more happening and more dates on our calendar leading up to those events, but we can't wait to see you there. And that's what we have for our report this month.
Great. Thank you so much, Grace.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cecily and Grace. Any questions, comments, commissioners? If not, is there any unfinished business? Now we can proceed to new business. Is there any new business?
I would ask people to recognize that over the next 2 months, there's going to be a flurry of activities in Washington, DC. So you should look at the DC 250 website so you'll know how to travel, where to travel, where you may want to avoid as far as parking and things of that nature. This is going to be very important because it will impact many of our community members who are having events and plays and, concerts. Please do not allow your event to be thwarted or things of that nature because you may not, or you did not equip your audiences with the tools that they need so they can get to your events and they can support your events during this upcoming busy season. Yes.
I just want to, I guess, provide a shout out to Michelle McCurry on her work on the Terror exhibit. If you come to the exhibit, or commissioners, I guess everybody's getting one of these. I think it's really important for us to know that in this book, there's like little bios on all the artists, right? Super standard. You send in your bio, somebody copies it and pastes it in. No, not Michelle McCurry. She wrote all of these things. Like, these are all like her take on the interpretation. And I just think it's important that we all know that the commission is having that type of intellect behind the curatorial work that's going on in the gallery here.
Good. You beat me to the shot. I was giving a shot. I actually came early, was able to walk through the exhibition. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's
Really
pretty
remarkable
show. Any other new business? Otherwise, we'll proceed to the closing. The next meeting of the commission will be held Monday, July 20th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. The time is now 6:18 p.m. And this